Long before she was a 6'1" U.S. women's Olympic hockey player,
to be an Olympian is crazy just to even say out loud.
Laila Edwards was a little girl learning how to figure skate.
There's a lot of people that I owe to give my best to every day and make them proud.
Can we do a song from this side?
My dad always had a plan, so he started me in figure skating because he knew that the transition to hockey would be easier that way. I wasn't big on the figure skating outfits anyway, so that worked out for me. I didn't like the tutus and the one pieces, the leotards wasn't my thing. I was more of a tomboy.
As her love of hockey blossomed, so did her skills on the ice.
I first realized how special Laila was when she was like 7 and she was making adult moves, zooming through people. And then she started like scoring all these goals and she was just like ahead of the group.
Those skills weren't the only thing that stood out.
Walking into a rink and saying the basketball court's that way, having experience with microaggressions taught me lessons, had me grow thicker skin in a predominantly white sport.
All right.
Those experiences only fueling her determination. Now, she's set to make history.
This is incredible. Like, I have the opportunity to be a role model to many young athletes, especially hockey players of color. Given this opportunity, I'm gonna embrace it.
Shoot it.
Her life in hockey has taken her from her hometown,
one of Cleveland Heights' own, and University of Wisconsin hockey forward Laila Edwards,
to Madison, Wisconsin, winning 2 national championships in 3 years with the Badgers.
I mean, the feeling of winning was probably the best moment I've ever felt because you got to do it among some of your best friends and for me, among my sister.
And countless other countries across the globe.
I was approached by a mom with her 2 kids of color. She was so grateful to have met me and to have her kids watch me so that they can see people that look like them playing hockey.
Oh, do the cone.
From that little girl to the cusp of Olympic glory.
Wearing the sweater with USA on the front is one of the greatest honors.
She's dreamt of this moment.
When I'm laying in bed at night and can't sleep, I picture those rings and to have a gold medal around your neck standing on the podium. It's reachable now.
Whew.
Erin Jackson has been skating in circles for as long as she can remember.
My earliest memories were probably growing up skating in my driveway, just up and down the driveway in my little plastic skates that would attach to my shoes.
When Erin was 10, she took up inline speed skating. As a senior in high school, she won a gold medal at the 2008 World Junior Championships.
I just loved going fast because even before that, when I was just hanging out at the open sessions, I was the one getting in trouble for skating too fast. So yeah, I just always loved it.
In 2017, Jackson followed the path of her mentor, Brittany Bowe, and transitioned from inline to ice. Just 4 months later, Jackson made the 2018 Olympic team.
No, I wasn't expected to go out there and do anything crazy, but I was happy to be there, and getting the experience was really awesome.
Leading up to the 2022 games, Jackson slipped in her heat at the trials and finished 3rd, with only the top 2 making the team. Race winner Brittany Bowe opted to give up her spot to allow her longtime friend a shot at a medal.
See, I've looked up to Brittany since I was a kid, and she's always just been the best example of everything good, just a really good mentor to have.
Brittany's act of kindness would lead to history. In Beijing, Erin won the 500-meter race by 0.08 of a second. It was Team USA's first women's 500-meter gold since 1994. And Jackson became the first black woman to win an Olympic speed skating individual gold medal.
It's still hard to put all the different feelings into words, I guess. It was, there were a lot of tears, a lot of hugging with all my teammates and my coaches and all the staff. It was just, a really magical moment.
And now she's ready to defend her title in Italy.
I really like pressure. I think pressure kind of helps push me to what I need to do because I'm kind of a really relaxed person. So yeah, the pressure kind of amps me up a little bit.
Slicing to the competition in 2025, Jordan Stolz is now ready to shine in Milan. Training in his home state of Wisconsin, the 21-year-old is at peak form ahead of his biggest event to date, and a sport with a thrill on every turn.
The speeds you achieve are, close to 40 miles per hour, and you're going through that turn, faster than, possibly a car could, or like a race car, right?
This is his second Olympics. Stolz's debut at the Winter Games came in 2022, but he failed to medal in Beijing. Now he's sharpened his edge with new motivation and says his skating has evolved to a new level.
Well, I've gotten stronger in the last 4 years. I've gotten better at managing like jet lag and nutrition. Obviously in China that was difficult.
Since then, Stolz has taken the world by storm. Bouncing back after an injury-plagued season in 24, Stolz captured 4 gold medals at the 4 Continent Speed Skating Championships in November and set track records in both the 1,000 and 15-meter races. Not bad for a kid from Wisconsin who fell in love with the sport early on, learning to skate on his family's pond in Kewaskum. Today, he lends his inspiration to U.S. Olympic great Apollo Ono and his current coach, gold medal skater Shawnee Davis.
Apollo was like the main reason I got involved in skating. Started out in my pond in the backyard. Shawnee was more so like kind of an inspiration once I started getting older.
Today, motivation comes from the thrill of competition at the highest level.
Racing the clock, I know that sounds kind of lame, but when you spend hours of training in the summer, lifting weights and riding the bike, and you see your improvements against the other guys, that's really motivating.
And he's hoping it all pays off in Milan, where he's favored to win gold in all 3 major races. For the Kewaskum kid, shining bright on the world stage in his second Olympics means striving for gold.
With my results the last 3 years, I'll have some good chances. If I have the best races I can do, perfect races, it should be gold medals, so we'll see if I can do that.
On the ice, Ilia Malinin stands out from the rest.
It requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of dedication.
The son of Russian Olympic skaters.
Both my parents, they're my coaches, and they've both been to an Olympics as figure skaters.
Ilia spent a lot of time growing up around the ice.
They always had to bring me to the rink because they were there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, and it's kind of more like I was hanging around the rink.
That time paid off. Ilia is now a 2-time world champion and the world's #1 ranked male figure skater, and wants to bring back the glory days of competitive ice skating.
Just being able to bring back the popularity of skating how it was decades ago.
Ilia Malinin! And is drawing a lot of attention from fans with his signature trick, the raspberry twist.
I guess there's a move in skating called a butterfly, and you add a twist into it, it's called a butterfly twist. And it's a pretty common trick that's off the ice done in like parkour. And the way it started as raspberry twist is because my last name means raspberry in Russian.
A twist served up with a mind-bending routine that's landed Ilia the nickname,
here he is, the Quad God himself.
Quad God.
It is a nickname that I embrace, and sometimes it does help me get through, competitions.
With 6 types of quadruple jumps in one program, taking that power and precision to the Olympics in Italy.
Like, we're all just a team of athletes who represent Team USA, and it's just such an honor to be one of those amazing athletes.
Where you're sure to see him snacking on chocolate before he skates.
I prefer to eat Hershey's milk chocolate before I skate.
And shows the world how a lot of hard work.
I really hope that I can give them a sense of feeling that it's more than just the Olympics. It's more than just the programs, that this sport is our life, this is our choice, this is something that we have dedicated a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of sacrifices.
And a little chocolate.
Most of the time when I've had a Hershey's chocolate, I've always had a pretty successful and pretty happy performance.
Can help an athlete earn some sweet Olympic gold.
To go there and to try to skate my best to win that gold medal.
An explosive push of the sled, piling in, then speeds topping 80 miles an hour.
It feels like I'm flying. It feels like I'm just gliding and everything feels right.
For Elana Meyers Taylor, knowing each ride brings the final run closer changes things.
I can't put into words what my entire career has looked like.
Olympic competition has been part of her life for nearly 20 years.
It'll be interesting after these games to have that kind of reflection and be able to look back and see what's really happened.
With 5 medals, she is the most decorated Black Winter Olympian in history.
That's a wild statistic, and one I never thought I'd even accomplish. Like when I started bobsledding, I thought, hey, I'd win an Olympic medal and then I'd be out and I'd be done. So to have this career now and to be up there with so many accomplished Olympians and to have this statistic behind it, it's incredible.
Milan Cortina would be her 5th Winter Games in a sport where she's set the standard and shattered barriers as a woman, elite athlete, and mom.
Having 2 kids on the road in Europe for 6 months is pretty insane, but they're right there with me. They're my biggest motivators, to have them by my side and to see me day in and day out doing what I'm doing. It's just the coolest experience.
Both her sons are deaf. Her oldest, Nico, has Down syndrome.
I want them to see their mom and know that she continued to chase her dreams despite any obstacles we have.
Now, advocacy is a role just as important as Olympian.
Like, I've got this really strong passion for disability, so if I can combine my love of the Olympics and Paralympics with advocating for people with disabilities too, then that would be the dream.
Alana Meyers Taylor is also redefining longevity in elite competition.
Happy birthday to you.
She recently turned 41.
For so long it's thought, women peak in their 20s, or maybe they peak in their 30s, or who knows, maybe it's 40. I'm hoping it's 41.
She sees her experience as an edge.
It gives me a lot of confidence going into these games in particular.
You could say Milan Cortina is a bonus Olympics. Alana almost retired after Beijing, but felt the draw back to the track with big goals.
I think the only goal you could set is 2 gold medals. I'm going to do everything I can to make it possible.
Skating is a sport that demands a lot to reach an elite level,
Most of it was a blur, I will say, just because I was so young.
taking up almost every minute of an athlete's day. And for U.S. figure skater Alysa Liu, that was just too much.
I was traveling so much because of it, and I was starting to get sick of it.
At 16, at the top of her sport after winning gold at the 2022 Olympics in Beijing, Alysa walked away from skating and retired.
I kind of just fell out of love with it, and I was like, after Olympics, I really want to quit, and that's exactly what I did.
All so she could spend more time with family and friends.
I was going to concerts, which I never could have done before.
Doing all the things a teenager usually does. Hanging out, getting her driver's license.
So I could drive myself around, drive my siblings, my friends around. I did a whole year at college and a little bit of the sophomore year as well.
Living a normal life. That included learning to ski.
I was skiing and I really enjoyed it, and I was like, I want to ski all the time.
But it was that time on the slopes, or at least heading to the slopes, that got Alysa thinking about coming back to skating.
Skiing felt very similar to skating. You're exhausted, your legs hurt, you're cold. That's like everything you feel when you're skating. And so I thought, well, if I enjoy skiing so much, there's no way I don't enjoy skating.
Because in her mind, why drive hours to be cold on the snow when you can find a rink and be cold skating a little closer to home?
It is so inconvenient to drive all the way to the mountains. When an ice rink, you could feel the exact same things that you feel when you're skiing on the rink. I would pick that.
So Alysa put those skates back on and got back on the ice.
I love the arts, I love dancing, and I love music, and I love sports, and that's what figure skating is. So I kind of realized that.
Better now, she says, than ever.
I just felt stronger, my balance is a lot better.
Now, at 20, she's once again the #1 ranked female figure skater competing at the 2026 Winter Olympics.
I am really excited for it because it's the biggest stage that you really get.
Where she could earn another gold, and after having some fun, show the world all the work she's been up to.
I put so much work into them, like costumes, choreography, and like just vibe of it. And I'm just really excited to display my art.
On the ice dance partners Madison Chock and Evan Bates have a personal bond that goes beyond the rink.
We have experienced so much of life together, working together, spending really all of our time together, and going through these incredible experiences that skating has brought us.
The two have skated together for more than 15 years, but just after the 2022 Olympics in Beijing,
Just done with the Beijing Olympics, so it was a big milestone. We were doing this tour with Stars on Ice where we were going across the country.
Bates, who's used to the pressure of being an elite figure skating athlete, had to steady his nerves.
I knew the answer. I thought I knew what the answer was going to be, but still nonetheless, very sweaty palms.
For a surprise proposal on a beach in Thailand to his ice dance partner.
Shaky voice, very nervous, even though it was just the two of us.
Now, this couple has a connection beyond what most athletes share.
We just feel like our bond is really strong, started as friends, became something more.
Working together on music selections.
We do the listening together. We really, like I said, put our brains together and come up with something that works for both of us and highlights our strengths and our passions for skating.
With Madison designing their costumes, even for their competitors.
She just designed costumes for herself, for me, and actually for some of the competitors in our discipline as well. So she's really a highly sought after designer.
It's a partnership that works. They're the #1 ranked ice dancers and Olympic champion.
All right, everybody.
And we're at the center of attention for a surprise.
2 special people here with us in the museum today.
At the U.S. Olympic Paralympic Museum in Colorado Springs.
Not expect
that. No, we did not expect that.
Where they were honored with a signing celebration, putting their names permanently on museum panels reserved for U.S. athletes who have won gold at the Olympics.
Truly an honor to get the full service experience and be able to sign something that's going to live in the museum. It's really an honor. We walk in here and we feel the history.
Now in Milan, Italy, they're competing with a bond that's improved their skating.
Absolutely. I think our relationship has only fueled our skating passion even more. We're so dedicated to each other and to our craft that everything just aligns when we put our brains together.
As they work together for gold.
We definitely want to shoot for the gold medal in the individual event as well. We feel like that's something that has been at the top of our goal list for a long, long time.
This time as husband and wife.
Now as husband and wife, it feels like stronger than ever.
From the small town of Afton, Minnesota to the world stage, cross-country skiing superstar Jessie Diggins has made a career out of living in the moment, especially when she's back home where it all began.
I don't get to be in one place very often. I'm on the road all the time, so getting to be home and see my family and see my little sister and snuggle the dogs and go running in the park with my high school coach, that's really special.
She's a 4-time Olympian and says she was on skis before she could walk. Growing up surrounded by Minnesota winters, Jessie fell in love with the snow early on. And by high school, it was clear she had something special.
It was really fun because my whole team was there and we were all cheering for each other.
Her drive and athleticism pushed her all the way to the U.S. ski team in 2011, turning her childhood passion into a professional career.
I just go do the best I can, and that's going to be enough because you can't control the actual outcome. You just control your effort. So I just try to stay loose and relaxed and honestly happy. Like, my game face is me smiling in the start gate because I'm excited to be here and I get to do this. And how cool is that? Like, that's pretty amazing.
And that joy shows with 3 Olympic medals, countless world championship podiums, and now the 2025 overall World Cup Crystal Globe winner. Jessie Diggins is officially the most decorated American cross-country skier in history. But her success, she says, isn't just about physical strength, it's about mental resilience.
Growing up, I remember seeing these Olympic athletes and just seeing them as like superhuman, like, oh my gosh, like they're perfect, they're flawless. You know, in order to win gold at the Olympics, you clearly need to have mastered every little area of your life. And that's not true.
In her book, Brave Enough, Jessie opens up about her struggle with an eating disorder. A story she now says is her proudest accomplishment to share.
The first time I wanted to tell my story, it was a really big, scary moment, and it's the thing that I am most proud of because winning the Olympics was very cool. I'm very proud of it. Don't worry, I am proud of it, but I'm most proud of the courage that it took for me to open up and tell my story.
For Jessie, none of it would have been possible without the people who stood beside her from the start.
You know, they say it takes a village, but like it takes the whole state, it takes the whole country. And I feel like those Olympic medals like belong to thousands of different people. And I hope they feel that too.
Near Mikaela Way in Avon, Colorado, Mikaela Shiffrin is rebuilding a comeback.
Gym time, strength and conditioning portion of the season.
On her terms.
Every year we're kind of reinventing the wheel a little bit.
At 30, Shiffrin has won more Alpine World Cup ski races than any male or female in history, more than 100 and counting.
106!
She has 2 Olympic gold medals, 6 World Championship golds, and while still racing, has been inducted into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame.
It's certainly a testament to the work that has been done and the journey I've had and my whole team and family and close friends and biggest supporters.
Shiffrin is the GOAT.
Be the best ever.
You know, there was some really great high highs.
On a journey that's been anything but easy.
And some really low lows.
At the Olympics in Beijing, Shiffrin raced in 6 events. She didn't medal in any of them. Then came Killington.
Everybody said it was going to happen in Killington.
Racing toward her 100th World Cup win.
The more people said that, the more I felt like, I think that's too easy. Like, I don't think the universe is gonna let this go that way.
Oh no! Oh no!
Mikaela hit a gate, crashed, and felt a stabbing pain in her midsection, a rare injury from being punctured in the fall. Shiffrin's recovery would be difficult, healing her body.
I had those like scary PTSD flashes of crashing.
And her mind.
Every time I get in the start gate, whether it's a race or training, I'll have these like flashes, or it's almost like a memory.
This had been more than just a crash, something different, something unlucky, a 1 in a million injury.
And they're called intrusive thoughts, and it's a symptom of, or a signal of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Getting that moment out of her head would take time.
Me proving to myself that more often than not, skiing high-speed GS doesn't end in a puncture wound.
And that time has come. Only 3 months after that Killington crash, Shiffrin won her 100th race.
Untouchable, unreachable, unrepeatable.
An achievement she thinks would have surprised even her late father.
I don't think he would have ever thought that I'd get to 100. I don't even know what he'd say. He'd probably be like, it's time to be done. But I'm not done yet.
Not even close to being done. In front of her home crowd, Shiffrin won her 104th World Cup at Copper Mountain. Once again, flying down mountains in a sport she loves.
The trick that we're all trying to work on is how to dive into that speed and sort of like go headfirst into the vortex.
All leading Shiffrin to her 4th Olympic Games in Italy, racing this time on familiar snow.
Understanding the lay of the land, knowing approximately where your hotel or your house or lodging is going to be.
And back in a familiar place, atop podiums and racing fast at the Olympics, on her terms.
Take a look inward and say like, wow, this is real, this happened. This is now a written part of history. That's a pretty special moment.
Being back on snow and skiing fast with the U.S. ski team is something Lindsey Vonn is pretty happy about.
I do think that just shows how excited I am.
Vonn's made a career of winning ski races. She has 82 World Cup wins, 43 in the downhill, more than any male or female ever. She also has 3 Olympic medals. Then in 2019, Vonn retired from racing after dozens of crashes and comebacks, caught up with her.
I retired because my body couldn't take it anymore, not because I personally wanted to end my career.
And while she kept herself busy, Vonn missed the sport, especially the chance to race in Cortina at the 2026 Olympics.
You know, really hard to retire knowing that Cortina Olympics was coming and I wouldn't be competing. But even so, I don't know if I would ever have imagined myself at 41 racing in the Olympics.
So she underwent surgery to repair her broken knee, and for the first time in years was pain-free.
It changed my life forever, and no matter what happens, my life is forever different because I was in so much pain before and it really affected almost everything I did in my life. And now I can do whatever I set my mind to.
The spark was lit. Now at 41, Vonn is back, racing and enjoying more time with her younger teammates.
It's not always that you mesh well with your teammates, and even though I'm twice as old as them, you know, we still get along great. I'm not doing as many TikTok videos as I think they would like.
But also offering her advice and expertise.
I feel like it's a privilege to be in this position. It's my responsibility to try to pass along as much knowledge as I can because downhill is an accumulation of knowledge. You know, you learn so much by racing the same tracks over and over. So I know these hills.
And once again, doing what she loves, and Vonn says what her late mom would have loved to see her do.
I had the opportunity to fight back. You know, my mom had a stroke when she had me, and she wasn't able to physically come back from that. And I felt like it's my responsibility to try my best and to do what I love to do because she couldn't. And I feel that even more now that she's gone. You know, she would be so happy that I'm here following my heart and my dreams.
In Cortina, Italy, fulfilling a dream on a track she's won a dozen World Cup races.
I think my age gives me a big advantage, actually. I've definitely been on that track more than anyone else that's in the starting gate.
And says no matter what, is just happy to go fast on one more run.
I'm privileged and lucky to be able to have the opportunity to say goodbye on my own terms.